Hello students, in this video we will see our next topic, that is predicates and quantifiers. Predicates and quantifiers. Now, as we saw the examples in prepositions, suppose we are saying x greater than 3. Then the next one, suppose x plus y equal to 7. Now you know these are not prepositions while these are assertions. Now these are not prepositions. Why does they? Now this statement is its truth value is depend on x. If we take x is equal to 1, then this statement is false. 1 is not greater than 3. Yes, it will be false. But if we take x is equal to 5, x is 5, then 5 is greater than 3, that time this will become true. Means it doesn't have a unique truth value, that's why it is not a preposition while it is a statement, it is an assertion. Okay, now similarly in English sentence, or before going towards that, now in general we can say these are depends on x as well as this second one will depend on y. Now similarly in English sentence, suppose I am saying the first sentence, suppose I am saying C is tall and fair. C is tall and fair. Here you have a question, who is C? Means this thing, its truth value is depend on this C. Who is that C? We cannot say it is true or false. Okay. Similarly, X, suppose I am saying X was born in city Y in the year Z. X was born in city Y in the year Z. Who is this X? Which city is this Y? And which year is this Z? Such questions are in our mind. Means this statement is also depend on this X, Y and Z. Now this X may be a human being. This Y is a name of any city. And this Z is a year. Okay. Now here these things are depend on something. Such statements are called predicates. And whatever we are saying here also this C is a human being. That means this C belongs to from a set of human beings. That set of human beings is nothing but our universe, or that is known as underlying universe. Here also this X is a human being, Y is a name of city and Z is an year. So that are also underlying universe, or simply universe we are saying to them. Okay. Now how does it is denoted? It is denoted as the notation for this. Suppose I am taking this example, X was born in a city Y in the year Z. So now here three different things on which this is depend. So notation for this as P, X, Y, Z. P, X, Y, Z is a notation. Means this is depend on X, Y as well as on Z. Suppose I am writing a third example. Suppose X plus Y equal to Z. Now here also this is depend on X, Y as well as Z. Suppose X and Z are known, then we can determine Y. Suppose Y and Z are known, then we can determine X. And if X and Y are known, we can determine Z. So this is denoted as sum X, Y, Z. The notation for this one. Okay. Now suppose the next one example, suppose I am taking m of xy as x is married to y. X is married to y, or x is married with y. Here this x and y belongs to human beings. And that is what this is our human beings. that is our universe or universe of discourse or underlying universe. Such a things or such statements having a truth value, but they are depend on something. Such statements are known as predicate, or let us define a predicate in detail. Definition of predicate. We will define predicate: the part of a declarative sentence, a part of a declarative sentence describing the properties of an object or the relations among objects. Is called a predicate. Now, there are various types of predicates. Now, you know notation. What is a notation here? As I tell earlier, suppose P of x, where this P is the predicate. P for predicate, and x is any object. From what? From a universe. It is an object from universe. So suppose if I write P of x, then it is known as unary predicate. If I say P of xy, then that is a binary predicate. Similarly, if P of x1, x2 and so on up to xn, means n variables are there or n objects are there, then it is known as n-place predicate. Or it is also known as, another name for it is n-tuple predicate. Predicate is also known as another name for predicate is a prepositional function. It is a prepositional function. It depends. It is a preposition, but it depends on some variable or some object. That's why it is a prepositional function. Now, let me take an example on it. Example: P of x, suppose it is x less equal 4. Then P of x is the statement. Let us check what are the truth values. Of P of 0 and P of 6. Let me check. So, what are the truth values of this? So, if we take P of x is whatever is x less equal 4. Now, for first one, we have to find what is a truth value of this P of 0. Means what? We have to take, that is, x is equal to what? 0. X is 0 here. We have to put that x is 0 in P of x. So, it will be 0 less equal 4. Is this true? Yes, it is true. Therefore, we can say the truth value of P of 0 is true. The truth value of P of 0 is true. Similarly, Second one, what is the truth value of P of 6? In this case, we have to take x equal to 6. So that gives us 6 less equal 4. Is this true? No, it is false one. 6 is greater than 4. 6 won't be less than 4 or equal to 4. Therefore, the truth value of P of 6 is false. Is it okay to you? Yes, a simple example I have taken. Now, let us go towards quantifier. What are the quantifier? Suppose we have a predicate P of x1, x2, so on up to xn. Now suppose I am assigning the values to x1, x2, so on up to xn as c1, c2, so on up to cn. Then that will become c1, c2 and so on up to cn. I am giving some values to them. That time it will become a preposition. For example, suppose I am taking that sum of x, y, z. Suppose x plus y equal to z. If I am taking x is equal to 2, y equal to 3, then that will become 2 plus 3, so z will become 5. This is a preposition. This is what? A preposition. You know its value. It is true, but you don't have the value of this one. It may be true, it may be false. It depends on x, y and z. This will become a preposition. So, here what we judge, if we assign a particular values to predicate variables. These are predicate variables. These x, y, z are what? Predicate variables. Here, these x1, x2, xn are also predicate variables or objects from the universe. So, if we assign the particular values to predicate variable, then it becomes a preposition and it takes a truth value. Either it is true or false. Now, it depends on those predicate variables. Now, here the predicate, if this is one note, if predicate P of x1, x2, so on up to xn is true for all values, this is a symbol for all values, for all can be denoted mathematically as such. For all values C1, C2, so on up to Cn, from these values are taken from universe. From universe, suppose let me write it as U, from universe U. Suppose predicate is true for all values in the universe, then this predicate P of x1, x2, so on up to xn is known as, it is a valid in U. It is valid in U. Similarly, if a predicate P of x1, x2, so on up to xn is true for some C1, C2, so on up to Cn from U, then this P of xn, x1, x2, so on up to xn is satisfiable, is known as a satisfiable predicate, or it is a satisfiable in U. Similarly, if P of x1, x2, so on up to xn is not true, means what? False, not true or false for any set or for all, for any, same as to say for all set of values C1, C2, so on up to Cn, then this P of x1, x2, so on up to xn is unsatisfiable. Unsatisfiable in U. These are the three possibilities. If it is true for all values, then it is valid. If it is true for some values, then it is satisfiable. Or if it is not true, means false, for any set of values from U, then it is unsatisfiable. Now, here we have to talk about, or we have to go towards our quantifier. Now, this is one of the type of quantifier. Means here I have been assigned some particular values to these variables, predicate variables. So it will reduce to a preposition. So quantifier also help us to reduce the given predicate into a preposition. So there are two ways to reduce a predicate into preposition. One thing, give values to those variables, give values to the predicate variables, and another one is bind the variables, binding the variables. Now binding of variables is possible using quantifiers. So let me write 2, or let P of xy is a predicate. P of xy is a predicate. P of xy is a predicate. Now, first thing, give values for x and y, that will become a preposition. That will become a preposition. Another possibility, binding variables x and y, that also gives us a preposition. Now this binding using quantifiers. Binding using quantifiers. For example, P of x is a predicate. P of x is a predicate. Now there are basically two quantifiers we are using. So one is known as a universal quantifier. Universal quantifier. Universal quantifier. Now it is denoted as for all x P of x. This notation is what? For all. It is for all x. Then it can be read as for every x. For every x or for any x. These are another various names for it. For any x or for each x. For each x or for arbitrary x. For arbitrary x. So these are various notations or the various forms to read this for all x P of x. Means what does this say? This is true for every x, whatever said in P of x. Then that is what? Such a thing is what? Known as a universal quantifier. This part. This for all is for universal quantifier. Now let me take an example for this. Suppose, for example, suppose we have a universe of discourse. Suppose a universe of discourse U is U equal to, or U is set of integers Now Suppose I will write three statements with quantifiers, that is universal quantifier, x less than x plus 1. Then for all x equal to 3. For all x equal to x plus 1. Now, you know, is this statement true? X is less than x plus 1. Is it true for all integers? Yes, it is true. So what is the truth value for this one? Is true. What about this one? X equal to 3. Is this true for all x? Only if x is equal to 3, then this statement is true. It is not true for all x. That's why what is the truth value for this one? Is false. Also, now for all x equal to x plus 1. Now this is true only for x is equal, no, it is not true for any x from set of integers. So its truth value is also false. Now there is other quantifier, that is existential quantifier. It is existential quantifier. The notation for this one is there exists x, p of x. Now this is, it has various names. There exists x such that p of x is true. There exists x such that p of x is true. For some x, p of x is true. Means two names for this, there exists and for some. Okay. Now let me take same type of example here. Suppose a universe of discourse is same set of integers. Now let me write the same statement. There exists x such that x less than x plus 1. Again, there exists x such that x equal to 3. Again, there exists x such that x equal to x plus 1. Now what happened here? Now for every x this thing is true. So there exists x means it is true. For some it is true, or for all it is true. Then also it is true. Now here for x equal to 3 this is true. So there exists x from set of integer. Yes, it is true. But for all it is not true. Now here there exists x such that x equal to x plus 1. It is not possible. So this is what? Its truth value is false. Now also let us see the next one, or how does this affects on our statements. Let me tell you that thing first. That suppose I have universe of discourse having the elements 1, 2 and 3. Then this for all x represents, what does it represent? It represents, or for all x p of x. Let me take p of x is our predicate. For all x p of x. This tells us that p of 1 and p of 2 and p of 3. So here and is true if all are true, means it is true for each and every. So for all these and between them, whatever number of variables are there, so and in between all the variables. And if there exists x p of x, then it represents p of 1 or p of 2 or p of 3. You know or is true if any one of them is true. So if for any one it is true, there exists x, means it is true. But if it is false for all, then this is false. Okay. Now let us define quantifier and universe of discourse. So first of all, let me define quantifier. Definition: quantifier. What are the quantifiers? As you know, it is quantifying means what? It will bind the predicate variable. So here quantifying phrases such as for all, for every, for some, there exist which signify quantity of the subject, which signify the quantity of subject variable are called quantifiers. Now already I had explained there are two types of quantifiers. I had explained the difference between them. There are two types of quantifiers. So first one is what? Universal, and the second one is existential. It is existential, which is already explained. Okay, now let us define a universe of discourse. Already the predicate variables belonging to that set is known as universe of discourse. In short, or in a simple language we can say as such, it is universe or universe of discourse. Universe of discourse. Now what does it? The set of values which upon replacement of variable, which upon the replacement of a variable in a predicate convert the predicate into a statement. Convert the predicate into a statement. That thing is known as a universe of discourse or universe. Now let me take example. Let C of xy is a statement. X is the capital of y. Then suppose the statement is C of New Delhi, India. Now New Delhi is a capital of y, x is a capital y, so first variable is a capital of second variable. Here it is New Delhi is a capital of India. So what is the truth value for this one? Is true. Now the second one, suppose I am taking C of Seoul, China. Now you know the China having a capital Beijing, so Seoul is not a capital of China. So what is the truth value is here? False. As such, the truth value of predicate for more than one variable can be determined. Okay. Now let us take the next one. quantifiers with restricted domain. Suppose let me take quantifiers with restricted domain. Now an abbreviated notation, quantifiers with restricted domain. So what is here? Here we suppose a set of integers as a universe of discourse we are taking. So suppose I am taking only positive integers, then it is restricted, the domain is restricted. So here mostly an abbreviated notation is often used to restrict the domain of a quantifier. Now let me take an example for this so that you will get. Suppose the domain is the set of real numbers. Now what are the truth values of those statements? Let us see. Now suppose, or what are the let us translate them into English sentence. So first one, suppose I am taking for all x less than 0, x square greater than 0. So what does it means? For every real number x with x less than 0. Which real numbers? Those are less than 0. Means what? Real numbers. X square is greater than 0. Now we know square is always positive. So it is, if it is negative or positive, it doesn't affect. But here it is stated. So let me write the same thing as the square of a negative real numbers. A square of negative real numbers is positive. Now second one, suppose for all y non-zero y cube is non-zero. Is it okay? Yes, it is true. For every real number y, which real number? Those are non-zero. Means one is excluded. One means which one? 0 is excluded only. Here all positive negative real numbers are taken. Okay, y cube is non-zero. Means what can we say? This can be written as the cube of every non-zero real number. The cube of every non-zero real number is non-zero. If a real number is non-zero, then its cube is also non-zero. Now the third one, suppose there exists z greater than 0, z square equal to 2. So what does this say? There exists a real number z with z greater than 0 such that in short can be written as such that z square equal to 2. So this, what does this is, there is a positive square root of 2. Positive square root of 2. We can say it as such. Now let me take some more examples. Let us take some more examples on topics covered. Let C of x has a computer. X has a computer. And suppose another statement, fxy is x and y are friends. X and y are friends. So here let me translate into English. Translate into English the statement, for all x cx or there exists cy and fxy. So what does this statement says? For all x, what is universe? What is universe of discourse here? All students in your college. All students in your college. Now what does this says? For all x means for every student. C of x means x has a computer, means for every student has a computer. Or there is a student, there exists some y. There exists some y, means y is another student, obviously another variable, so another student. There exists some y, that is C of y, means y has a computer, and f of xy, x and y are friends. So f of xy means they are friends. Either the student have a computer or another student have a computer, then they are friends. So this can be written in English that every student in your college, has a computer or has a friend who has a computer. Okay, now I have to take some more examples, but I will take them in next video. Now in next video also we will see the precedence of quantifiers and binding variables, also the logical equivalence involving quantifiers and negating quantifiers and nested quantifiers. These concepts with some examples let us see in next video. Thank you.